Hello, this is Mark from Skywagons University. We're not going to do model year changes on Bonanzas because from 1947 to present day, they've been in production in a pretty much unbroken run, and the 17,000 of them have been produced. So I just thought I'd talk briefly about this particular plane because it's a 47. It's the first year of production. They designed them. The first test prototype actually flew in 1945 on December the 22nd. And they went into production in 1947, and this is a 47, so it's 74 years old. And it was in competition at the time with the Cessna 195, Cessna's radial engine, 300 horsepower, which was kind of pre-war technology. This is a massive step away from all that, and it kind of started general aviation off. This is a flat six air-cooled Continental, just like a lot of the planes in production today. It was faster, it was more efficient, it was cheaper to build, and the success of it is that it's still in production today, a variant of it. So, being a 47, it's got the little E225 in it. I'll just pop the lid and show you what's going on in here. We'll do the other side too, because the data plate's over there. There's a few interesting things under here. It's just a regular conventional E225-8 Continental. It's at 225 horsepower momentarily for takeoff, and then you back it off. It doesn't have a sump. It's got a oil system that's continually circulating. So this is the oil. You fill it up and you check it right here. So it doesn't have a big sump under it. It has a pressure carburetor, which can be a little bit tricky, but it needs a fuel pump to feed it. It can't. It's not like it can just suck through its venturi. It's like they have pressure carburetors on them. And then the main thing, if you come over here and look in this way, you can see that gear behind the propeller, where my finger is protruding through. This gear and this motor, this is a variable pitch propeller, and it's electric, but it's not, if I can get this right, it's not the electric prop that you set and it stays there. This prop it's electric prop, but you manually set it. So you take off at full fine, there's a switch on the dash, we'll see that in a minute. It says fine and course. Take off on full fine, climb, cruise, see it increase, and then you back off to 2400 RPM for cruise, and then you're cruising. If you were then to climb or descend, it would decrease and increase like a fixed pitch would. So it's like a variably adjustable fixed pitch propeller. It's not a constant speed prop, but you can totally change its pitch. It's made by Beechcraft, and this one actually is very low time. It's got 350 hours on it, so does the engine. It's lived in Phoenix. And if you come around here and look in the hole in the front of the oil tank, there's a cunningly designed air heat exchanger oil cooler in there, which combines the oil tank as an air cooler. As an oil cooler, rather. And then if we come around this side, I'll pop the lid. Very typical Bonanza cowl. There's the data plate. You can see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. It just shows it's an E225. People who know Bonanzas will want to see that and recognize it better than I haven't seen a lot of these. Batteries here, oil filter mags, everything's very similar under there. Strangely, no gills. A lot of later Bonanzas have gills on here. The other thing about a 47, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 48, a few of the early years, they have non-steerable nose wheels. That's not steerable, it's not linked to the rudder pedals and to the ailerons and the yoke. That literally steers by braking. Differential braking will steer it. And to be honest, I've flown the plane and it doesn't really feel that much different. Maybe I use too much brakes on the other kind. But the yoke, if we come around this side and make it so that you can see the aileron and the ruddervator, and I'm going to move the yoke, they're linked. So on all Bonanzas, when you move see how the ruddervators move? I'm moving the aileron, and the ruddervators are moving. And then, of course, if I move it like that, that's up and that's down, but that's left and right. They're all linked, so it makes for a very, very yaw-damped, comfortable flight. You almost don't need to keep your feet on the rudder pedals. You can just drive it around like a car. This was added. 47's actually, this is the only window. So someone's put this in to make it look more modern. Trouble is, this was 50s, and the really modern window is the one that comes down like this. The step retracts, it's pulled up by the nose wheel mechanism. So that's down when it's on the ground. And then of course the good old V-tail. Now some viewers are going to know way more about this than me, but I think the early planes have a wider V, and for some reason don't have the need for the speed AD bracket on the front of them, maybe because they have the smaller engines. The first 30 or 40 Bonanzas built had fabric control surfaces. Elevators, rudders, ruddervators, whatever they're called. They're all fabric. And then after that, they're magnesium. So the ailerons and flaps on this plane are aluminum, but the ruddervators are magnesium. And you have to really look after them because they're very difficult to replace. If you need ruddervators for an early plane, you have to buy them used, track them down, or I don't think Beech even make them anymore, so you've got to look after them. But look at the condition. These have been on here for 74 years. 74 more years, they'll be twice that bad, and they'll still be good. What else have we got? Fuselages of all the 35s stayed this size and shape. Window configurations moved around a little bit, but this fuselage and airframe, if this had a late model paint scheme on it, people who don't know Bonanzas very well would just think it's a newer version of itself. They're excellent old planes, although I own a Mooney. But don't leave me in a Bonanza too long. So this is the stall warning vane on an early Bonanza. It's in the airflow in the boundary layer, and it flies like this, and as you slow down it buffets and it'll make the stall warning noise. So that's what that is back here. Normal flaps, normal ailerons, and on this particular plane they did ADS-B with the Uvonix beacon on the tip. So the fuel capacity on these, it's got a tank in each wing, 17 gallons usable, and then it has this one which is 20, a third tank. You fill it up there. And there's 3 positions on the fuel selector, so you've got left and right, and then auxiliary, and this is the auxiliary. So a total of 17, 17, and 20. And then round here, in the baggage door, is the actual tank. You can see the filler neck on the other side. So it uses up a bit of baggage space. And then let's have a look inside it. Okay, so the yoke, you can have double or single. This, of course, is the single. There's a little button back here. Pull that out, and that will swap over so the other person can fly. But this has been set up just to be on the pilot side because the cable for the GPS. But it'll be in there, and if you pull it out again, there, the lowrider, across country. And then this panel is completely modernized. In the old days, it would have been a sort of, it looked like a Wurlitzer jukebox with fuses. So it's got modern circuit breakers, modern avionics. It's even got a Garmin G5 in it. But what I thought I'd do is start it. See this pump? So the fuel selector and the pump are one together. So you pull up, and this will pump. So if I push down, that's pumping fuel. When it's down, it engages. That's on the left tank, forward tank, auxiliary, right tank. So you push down to engage the tank you need, and then to start it, you have to pump and crank. So if you watch on the fuel pressure gauge, turn on the mags and the master switch, get the right key. As I pump, watch the fuel pressure gauge. So you prime it, mixture in, throttle cracked. I'm going to give it a tiny bit of boost pump because we already ran it. I just want to get a prime up there. Off. Pump up. Throttle. And then with the right hand I'm turning the key, and the left hand I'm pumping. Clear! And now she's stable. So you don't need any of the pumps once it's running. We'll shut it down. Bonanza doors, they can be abused. They have a latch up there that engages in here, and it's all on this same handle, and they have this little bar that holds them open, and that is holding it open. If somebody who doesn't know gives that a good pull, you'll break a hinge or bend something. So you just knock it down, in, and then when you close it, you rotate this completely around till it clicks. That's closed. And then you push this button and unrotate it, and it unlatches it. It's a very good system if you maintain it. But don't let anybody who doesn't know about this bar shut this door to help you out. So that was just a basic little video to show you the plane. Most of this video has been the flight from Phoenix to Placerville and then on with me in it, Placerville on to Grass Valley. And I think that Juan Brown of Blanco Lario, he's another very, very good YouTuber. Go to his site and you'll see the video about the flight from Phoenix to Placerville. And I haven't seen that yet, so I'm not sure what's on it. But then he brings it to me, I took over, and I'm just talking a little bit about this plane. So it's just another Skywagon University video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching it. If you like them, subscribe on the button below. Maybe it's there. And then the bell gives you notifications. And thanks for watching. Some people have asked where I get all the information about these planes. And I don't normally let them see. But on this particular one, because it's a 47 and I didn't know much about it, I need to look here and find the information. But don't spread it around.